Hi, this is DM Tips number 14, and my name's Sean Connors, and welcome back. This is a recap DM's tip, so we're going to look back over the tips that we've covered off so far, and just to see if we're still all on the same page. So, effectively, what have we covered off? We've covered off quite a lot, haven't we? We've talked about some of the techniques that various DMs use. We've done them in little snippets to hopefully get everybody on board. At this sort of stage, what you want to really be doing is having to think about your own DMing style. What you feel you do well, what your players tell you you do well, hopefully the two marry up, and then try to use some of the information that hopefully you managed to glean from these programs into your own games. We've even talked about storyboarding or storytelling and a particular technique that can be used to do that, and hopefully you're trying that out in your sessions. I welcome any feedback, as I've always said, and you've probably already seen from my RPG review and show site that I will be quick to respond to players' questions and often answer their questions as quickly as possible. I do appreciate all the questions I've been given. You now should have the fundamentals of a DM, but there is still so much to learn. So hopefully you're continually, as I would always say this, I always try in every session I've done, even now I'm still doing it, every session I run, I look at it as I try to score myself out of 10. And I've never given myself the perfect 10. And I think in some ways it's a really useful technique, because what you're actually doing is you're saying to yourself, did you do a good job at portraying the story? Did you get all the characters involved? Did you manage to, how did the players interact with what you were doing? Was it a good session for them? Was it a good session for you? And it's interesting because sometimes a good session for your players is not necessarily a good session for you. And equally, you can have a great session and your players absolutely hate it. So it's very, very difficult, and that's one of the things I love about this hobby, of scoring yourself the perfect 10. And that's maybe one of the reasons why I continue to enjoy running games. Maybe I'm still searching for that enigma that is the best that I can be. And that's why I enjoy what I do so much, that I never quite get there. It's like the Holy Grail for me. I'm always constantly striving to be, drink from the cup, but never quite get there. Get close. I've been close a few times. I've had some great sessions. We're involved in a fantastic campaign right now, where I'm very proud of it, and I'm very proud of my story arcs, and I'm very proud of what I managed to glean from my players. But I've been lucky. I've had good players. And I ask myself sometimes, why have I had good players? What is it that has given me the luck, if you like, or the grace to have learnt from some great players? And I actually think it's a collaboration, because I do believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that because I've set my standards very high, because I've been quite demanding as a DM, because I've made my sessions tough, because I roll all my, I make the sessions fair but difficult, very difficult. The players know that it's a fair result for a fair reward, and they know its repercussions for actions. They know that I am always very quick at responding to somebody that's, shall we say, played not particularly well, or put their foot right in it. Then I will give them the full size 9. So that is really where I am myself, and the reason I'm sharing this with you as a recap is because all the tips that we have so far are still only the beginning. We still have a journey to take, but it's important to sort of start thinking about it. If I was in your particular shoes, for those that are new DMs or even experienced DMs, you want to get better? How do you get better? Rate yourself. Work out what it is. How did the story go down? How did I do? How did the players perform? Work it out. Every session come away from it thinking, what did I do good? What did I do not so well? What could I have improved upon? Utilise the tips program. Did I do a good job with my tonality and voice? Because we're going to go on to other parts of this that get deeper. We're going to talk about, tonality and voice are one thing, but the mannerisms that you have, the hand gestures that you perform are critical for the players to read body language. As I've already said, I think previously in one of my things, one thing I do a lot of, and we're going to cover this off on a future DM's tips, I don't use social interaction skills in RPGs. I actually role play them. So all my NPCs will play their mannerisms out. I try to put that into my games. Sometimes I play the bad guys do wear black hats and have big moustaches, But other times, of course, they're the person that you least expect, because I've worked the story that way, that I've worked the angles, and that's critical. So it's these little things that we're going to start looking at more and more, and that's why I feel at this point we need a recap show and a little bit more time spent on it. Well, anyway, I hope this has been of some use to you. I hope it gives you some fundamentals that we've been building off, and I'm now going to start taking the DM's Tips program. It's going to start moving up and escalate towards what I would describe as the absolute pinnacle of the hobby, as far as I can at this point tell, in terms of DM's Tips. I do welcome all your feedback, and I do thank you for the feedback I've had, and if any of you are, and most of you should be fully aware at this point, if you ask me something, I will respond quite quickly, and if there is something that you want, I will want to answer that for you. Anyway, I've been Sean Connors, this has been DM's Tips 14. Happy gaming, and until next time, as Bubbles and myself would say once again, you're back in the picture, Bubbles. Take care, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.